And here we go. In the bottom right-hand corner, we have Evil Genius's Demuslim. He's going to be our blue Terran. And across the way, across the desert wastes, in the top left-hand corner, we have the yellow Terran, KawaiiRice from Team Light. And wow, what a game from Kawhi in that last map. I mean, we had been theory crafting this build like for the past 4 days, and I had been telling him in TVT, opening with quick Warhounds, man, it's excellent. You take full map control. Then if you follow it up with a medevac, you have the option to drop in the main, start picking off SCVs. And the thing about Warhounds is it's different than Hellions. Oftentimes when you drop Hellions, you lose them. I mean, Marines can take out Hellions in small numbers. Marauders are great against them. But the Warhounds, like you said in the cast, they can stand toe-to-toe. And you can get them out of there easily because they have so many hit points. It's really easy to pick them up before they die.
And they're really good at harassing SCVs.
Yeah,
because the Haywire ability procs on workers of the probes and SCVs,
Yeah,
not
it
drones.
does. Yeah, it does.
So that makes him an excellent unit for harassing.
Yeah.
In fact, I kind of watched you play a game where you brought 2 medevacs for a total of 4 Warhounds.
Yeah.
You dropped it behind some Protoss, and it killed like 10 or 12 workers in like 3 seconds.
Instantly.
It's an insanely good way of harassing.
It's very, very. It's almost. I wouldn't say it's as powerful as like Baneling bombs, but it's strong.
It's strong because it can also stand toe to toe with something like Marines or Marauders if they come in.
So we do have a CC first here from KawaiiRice, 15 CC, and we do have a gas first build here from Demuslim, and he's also built his barracks on the left hand side of the main, which signifies to me that he's going to go for the fastest possible Banshee that he can get. Now. We'll have to see whether he decides to go with the cloaked variety or just the normal Banshees. Obviously, cloak is a pretty big investment. He could go for quick Warhounds. I mean, you know, Heart of the Swarm offers so many different possibilities.
Or maybe he'll go for Widow Mines, man.
Nope.
Here's a factory coming down, and it was blocked for a moment there by KawaiiRice. And by the way, guys, I'll just bring up the scoreboard for this game because it is, of course, a TVT mirror, and it can be confusing sometimes. And Kawhi now...
Oh, yeah. By the way, we heard you guys in chat. Everybody wanted overlays for tomorrow. We're going to try and get that taken care of for you guys for the semifinals. Yeah, scoreboard. We're going to try and get that taken care of for you guys for the semifinals and the finals tomorrow. We're sorry about that. We did put this together in 4 days. I hope we did well. I hope you guys are enjoying it. We're certainly enjoying it. And it looks like it's going to be quick Warhounds or an immediate starport. We'll have to see.
Yeah. I'm
thinking
too sure
starport.
Yet. Well, because of the positioning on the barracks and factory on the left-hand side, yeah, starport on the way. So
there it is.
Now,
no
Kawhi,
second cast, though, so no cloak.
No cloak. And Kawhi went in and he scouted this.
Yeah.
And he saw the buildings on the left. So, like you said, you can kind of deduce in TVT, hey, he's putting it there because he wants the closest position possible in base for a Banshee. So
absolutely.
If Kawhi can deduce that out and get some type of anti-air...
Deduce that out.
Sherlock
Deductive
Holmes.
reasoning.
Yeah, man. I think he'll be okay. We'll see, though.
Yep. Looks like he is going to get a Hellion and a few Marines out here. He could take control over the Xel'Nagas with the Hellion. I think that would be a really good idea because then his Banshee can move across the map undetected. But it looks like he's concerned about maybe some potential Marine pressure or something like that. But having scouted the CC first, I don't think he should be too concerned about that. He really should be out on the map right now with these Hellions. And it looks like he's actually going to drop an expansion here. So I like the build from Demuslim. The Banshee is going to give him harass potential. It's going to give him map control. And he can freely do what he wants behind that. Now, the question is, how much damage is KawaiiRice going to take from this Banshee? How much is he going to invest in, say, missile turrets? Is he going to invest in an earlier engineering bay? How many Marines are going to get picked off? Nice scan. He sees no cloak. He's going to see the first Banshee pop out. Switches immediately. KawaiiRice does see that with the scan as well.
And he knows from that point onward that we won't see additional Banshees because the starport leaves the tech lab.
Interesting. A Warhound and a Viking. I wonder why the Viking, because he knows KawaiiRice.
Well, the thing is,
probably isn't going for a Banshee or any sort of...
I was going to say one way to counter Warhounds is Banshees. So if you support your Warhounds with Vikings, you can actually kill off the Banshees, obviously.
I wonder why Kawhi is so turtled up right now.
He played like this in Game 2 as well.
Yeah, he did. I mean, I think he needs to take more risks here.
Interesting.
Because, I mean, I don't understand the bunker on the high ground and not taking your natural yet. I mean, unless he thought
And
that...
his CC has been up for a much longer time than the Muslims.
Unless he thought that Demuslim was going for some sort of an all-in or something, which certainly is a potential, but I mean, you know, you got to take risks sometimes, and
Sure.
he's not taking too much damage here from the Banshee. The Banshee getting a lot of scouting information, being annoying as all hell, but not really doing anything.
Hasn't killed off anything of significance yet, and Demuslim wants to be careful here.
Viking out, that Banshee's gone.
Yeah, that Viking will be able to chase it down.
Yep.
Eventually.
Yep, it'll get it. She'll get it.
And yeah, that Banshee's running for her life. Eventually.
Warp drive engaged.
You do have to micro a little bit, though, when you're chasing that Banshee.
Although, Demuslim does have that Viking out, and he is moving Marines into position to intercept this. He might be able to kill the Viking. KawaiiRice does not know about this. Brilliant moves here from Demuslim.
Kawhi is controlling this Viking now, and he pulls it away at the last second.
I think he's going to lose it.
Oh, yeah.
It's gone. Wow,
Very nice by
Yeah,
Demuslim.
that was a really solid play from Demuslim right there. Very, very intelligent positioning. And he's actually grabbed both of his gases at the natural super early on here, and he's continuing to pump Warhounds. So and he's continuing to add Vikings as well. So he's
I think what he's doing, just if I may, you know, going for mass Warhounds is susceptible to something like Banshee play.
Absolutely.
So he's adding in Vikings to make it so he doesn't have any susceptibility to air units.
Absolutely right. That's exactly what he's doing. And mixing in the Banshee is really nice for him as well because, well, Kawhi does have quite a few Marines, and he's switching into Bio here. So in my experience, Bio absolutely shreds mass Warhound from what I've seen so far. So we're going to have to see how this plays out. But I just based on the unit composition so far, if Demuslim doesn't start producing siege tanks, I think he's going to be in a lot of trouble.
I have to agree with you. I actually watched the game with Thorzane when he was when he was streaming in the early beta, he was only making Warhounds for the longest time.
I saw that
and he kept trying to win with Warhounds. He was doing great until he played 4GG and 4GG went mass bio.
Yep.
And then he got crushed.
Yeah.
And then he was like, what? I thought Warhounds were supposed to win me.
Yeah. That was a funny little joke. Yeah. He was like, what is this? I thought Warhounds beat everything.
Yeah.
It's like, nope. Now, yeah, I mean, he could be in a lot of trouble here. Yeah, I mean, if they get into a big conflict anytime soon, I think it's going to go heavily in the favor of KawaiiRice. We'll just have to see.
Oh, yeah, SCVs coming off. And SCVs are great at repairing Warhounds.
They're excellent.
How many can you surround on a Warhound?
A ton.
They're so big.
Yeah, that's a really good point. The model is so large that you can actually get quite a few SCVs around it to repair. But is KawaiiRice going to see this coming? His units are out of position.
He sees it with his Onaga Tower.
His units are totally out of position.
He's thinking about defending the third by breaking the rocks down first.
Oh,
he
man.
needs to get in position in front of the natural.
I think this is a huge mistake by Demuslim. I think he's just going to lose everything here.
It's hard to say. The
Stim goes down. KawaiiRice engages. Everything starts to go down. The Warhounds are getting repaired, though, but they're falling.
Oops.
I think Whoa, HD. I think KawaiiRice is coming out ahead here. He's going to pick off all the remaining Warhounds, and he's going to get the SCVs. This is huge for KawaiiRice. This is a huge victory for him. He's way ahead right now. Those SCVs, he lost all the mining time. He's down 20 supply. He lost a majority of his Warhounds. Is he going to try and transition over into Siege Tank Mech here?
That was really, really good for KawaiiRice, man. He just took out the entire army with his Marines and breaks down the rocks.
And he's
to answer your question, is Demuslim going to transition to Siege Tank Mech?
No, he's staying with just pure Warhound. He
Yeah,
just got Siege in his first tank right now.
And you'd think it makes a lot of sense to get Siege Tanks because you're dealing with all these Marines, and tanks are pretty good against Marines once you get them sieged up. But
yeah, for sure.
Just pure Warhounds, they're not the best against a lot of bio units, which is what KawaiiRice is fielding on the field.
I've learned this the hard way several times on ladder. I was massing Warhounds. I was like, oh, Warhounds are the business. I'm just going to make all Warhounds. And then I ran into a player who played conventional, you know, Wings of Liberty mass bio and just got absolutely shredded. So you need to mix in siege tanks. And I feel like it's almost a little too late for Demuslim here. KawaiiRice has his third up and running right now as well, so he's got a tremendous macro lead. He's up to 117 supply.
He's also coming in with a drop here, Pain User, with 3 medevacs full, and this is quite a bit of bio and some Warhounds mixed in for good measure. The siege tank is in a lonely position. It could go down very quickly to this drop. Demuslim is out of position right now, and that tank will die so quickly.
Yeah.
Oh, got bashed by the Warhound. Melee attacked.
Oh, he's going to get another tank here. No, get the tank.
Why is he not focusing the tank down?
I don't know. There he goes.
He's going to get the tank. Now, if he wants to pull out, he can because there's no anti-air here.
Wow, gets a starport as well. Huge plays here for KawaiiRice.
He pulls out right before the barrage of Haywire hit him, and he's out of there, man.
You know what's kind of crazy? He got the starport. I wonder if KawaiiRice could switch into Banshees here. There's no anti-air out on the field for Demuslim. KawaiiRice knows this. And he's
standing
switching
on-
into Banshees!
He's got a bunch of starports. Very smart. Calm down there, good sir. Calm down. Yeah, he's going Banshees.
You gotta give me some credit for
Yeah,
that, though. That
very
was a
clever.
good one. That was a good one.
Clever,
All right.
clever.
Now, this is a brilliant transition from Kawhi here. I
Yeah.
mean, come on, man. He's just totally outplaying Demuslim right now. This is beautiful.
Mhm.
I mean, it's a beautiful game from him. He's playing excellent.
And the Banshees are so good against everything on the ground because the Muslim has no anti-air right
I mean,
now.
if Demuslim gets a Thor or two, things could go bad, but I don't think he's going to get
Look
one.
at this. Kawhi's going to go in with another drop, but
Oh.
our tank's there. He's got to be careful.
Yeah, get out. Get to the chopper. Get out.
He's out of there right now, and he's not going to try to stick around. So Demuslim holds on to the second wave of drops. And right now, adding on a ton of Warhounds and tanks. So his ground army looks really good. But the problem is
He
the
has no
triple
idea.
starport Banshee.
He has no idea about
Yeah,
it.
and if we look at the Banshee count right now, it is at 3. Let's just take a look at the income as well. It's fairly even. But these Banshees are going to be serious problems for Demuslim.
And I feel like such an idiot now for being like, Kawhi, why are you attacking the starport? Get the siege tanks, get the siege tanks. No, he was killing the starport on purpose to make this transition, deny the Viking production.
He's even getting Behemoth Reactor here and ship weapons.
Oh my god.
Now, in Heart of the Storm, battlecruisers do...
They were good in TVT, but they do more damage.
They do
now.
more damage to ground now.
Their air to surface was upgraded, so
Yeah.
they're considerably better. They're reminiscent of BCs in the beta.
Yeah. And it looks like Kawhi's going to push out into the middle of the map right now.
Needs to be careful, though. His army is not as big as Demuslim's.
Yeah, he has to be pretty careful. He does have the air, though. Air supremacy belonging to the Yellow Terran Kawhi.
He needs more Vikings, though, because Demuslim's making quite a few Vikings now, so Kawhi really needs to maintain air supremacy. He needs more Vikings. It's very important.
If there were no air units at all in a straight-up ground
Here we
versus
go.
ground battle, Demuslim would win, but it does look like Kawhi's going to come in with his Banshees.
Does he have enough Vikings? I think Kawhi does. And there is no anti-air remaining once that last Viking goes down, and oh my god. Demuslim has no idea what to do. He's running all of his units into the corner of the third. Siege tanks are going down left and right.
He has missile turrets to fall back to, though. He's got to bring them to the north of the missile turret.
Oh, but the SCVs are exposed. There's no turret in range of the SCVs. Heavy damage here going down on Demuslim's base.
And meanwhile, it looks like Kawhi's going to take advantage of the opening into the natural.
Brilliant.
And he's going to come in with a lot of forces, going to take out that siege tank. And the Banshee's continuing to lay waste, but there is a missile turret here.
Demuslim moves his army back into position, realizes he has to try and make a defense here. Production facilities being camped, and when you're going mech, that is the worst possible scenario. The Banshee's ripping apart everything on the ground here, and I think this gives KawaiiRice the game. I mean, what can Demuslim do from here?
Yeah, Demuslim doesn't have any air, man. He has no way, and there's 3 battle cruisers on the way for KawaiiRice as well. One of the factories here is going to fall. That's 3 factories down, I believe. And Demuslim finally gets a Thor out that wasn't killed right away, but there's a bunch of Banshees here. The Banshees will kill off a Thor.
They will indeed.
Wow.
I mean, once you have enough of them, Banshees do incredible sustained DPS.
Yeah.
Second Thor comes out, it will go down immediately as well, and with that, I mean, and
GG.
there it is, GG. Kawhi going down 0-1. Brings it back, and that's a very rare occasion that you see someone drop the first game of a set and then bring it back to ultimately win the best of 3. He will be moving on to the semifinals, and let's grab him for an interview. I've got some questions for him.
All right, don't go anywhere, guys. Interview coming up next. This is HD and Pain User. We'll be right back.